I have improved exponentially with this concept, but before I explain it to you, I gotta give you some context. One of the weirdest things about modern life is that almost everybody wants to change, but very few people are actually changing. We say we want to build a better body. We say we want to make more money. We say we want to start the business, fix our sleep, become more disciplined, read more books, create more content, learn a new skill, become a different version of ourselves. But when you look at your actual day, nothing changes, right? You wake up, you doom scroll, and you sleep again. And you got this strange feeling. You feel like, I'm being productive, but where's the result? I'm tired, but where's the fulfillment? I had plans, but where's the progress? And this is where most people get it wrong. They think the solution is to add more habits, more books, more podcasts, more productivity apps, more routines, more morning rituals. But sometimes the problem is not that your life needs more. Sometimes your life needs less. And this is where this concept comes in, monk mode. But this monk mode is not like an aesthetic. Some of you might have come across this kind of page where they say that disappear for 6 months and come back stronger, monk mode. No, not that kind of monk mode. Monk mode is not about disappearing so other people wonder where you went. Monk mode is about removing the things that keep pulling you away from the life you keep saying you want. For me, monk mode means focus, deep work. The simplest way to understand it, it's a period of time where you decide that for the next 90 days, 180 days, your life is going to become simpler, stricter, and more intentional. Not forever. This is very important. People think they need to be monk mode every single day, and it keeps a toll on yourself, right? Like, do I have to really commit forever? No. Focus at least 90 or 180 days first. Think about it, it's just like a season, because life has seasons, right? There are seasons where you explore, there are seasons where you socialize, there are seasons where you travel, meet people, try new things, and say yes to opportunities. But there are also seasons where you need to lock in. And I think this is the season that most people avoid. Because locking in sounds boring. It doesn't look glamorous. It means saying no. It means repeating the basic. It means doing the same important thing every single day, even when nobody is clapping for you. And this is very hard for most people, because when nobody is clapping, you have no idea if you're doing a good thing or not. You need those kind of direct feedback, right? And that's where the 99% fail. But for you that consume video until these seconds, you know you want to be in the top 1%. I think monk mode become popular because a lot of people are secretly tired of themselves, not tired of life, tired of breaking promises to themselves. Because there's a specific kind of pain that comes from knowing what you should do and still not doing it. You know you should sleep earlier, but you don't. You know you should exercise, but you keep postponing it. You know you should work on that project, but you keep waiting for the perfect mood. You know you should stop scrolling at night, but somehow your hand keeps reaching for the phone. After a while, the real damage is not just the missed workout or a wasted night. The real damage is you stop trusting yourself. You start seeing yourself as someone who talks but doesn't follow through. Someone who starts but doesn't finish. Someone who needs motivation every time before taking action. And that is very dangerous. Because when you lose trust in yourself, even simple goals starts to feel heavy. Monk mode helps rebuild that trust. Not through one big motivational moment, but through small repeated proof. Every day you move your body, you create proof. Every day you avoid your biggest distraction, you create proof. Every day you do the work, even when your mood is average, you create proof. And slowly, your brain starts to believe something different. Maybe I'm not lazy. Maybe I'm not broken. Maybe I just needed structure. Maybe I just need to focus. And that is the real function of monk mode. And how do I start this monk mode? I have these 3 basic principles. The first one is movement. Every day, move your body at least for 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be extreme. It can be walking, lifting, running, cycling, stretching, or mobility work. The point is not to become a professional athlete in 1 month. The point is to remind your body and mind that you are not living on autopilot anymore. A lot of people try to fix their life only by thinking. They think more, plan more, analyze more, consume more advice. But sometimes your mind is messy because your body has neglected. When you move, your mental state changes. A walk can solve thoughts that overthinking cannot. A workout can create momentum that motivation cannot. The second principle is remove cheap dopamine. And this might be subjective for everyone. For some people, might be porn. For some people, might be doom scrolling. For some people, could be gambling. So the question is simple. What is the one habit that keeps making you lose respect for yourself? That's probably the one that you need to remove first. Because monk mode is not about looking pure. It's about being honest. You don't need to fix everything at once, but you do need to identify the main link. What is the cheap dopamine that keeps taking your energy, your focus, your confidence, and your self-control? And the third is silence. Non-negotiable. 10 minutes, sit with your own mind. Most people are never alone with their own mind anymore. From the moment they wake up, they are consuming something. Message, music, podcast, news, video, comment, opinions. So they never really hear themselves. And this is why silence feels uncomfortable at first. Because when the noise disappears, the truth becomes louder. It gives you life signal again. After those principles, you can add more variables. If you're trying to build a business, your variable might be 2 hours of deep work every day. If you're trying to become a creator, it might be writing or filming every day. If you're trying to get healthy, it might be meal discipline. If you're trying to learn a new skill, it might be 1 hour of deliberate practice. The mistake is copying someone else's protocol without understanding your own battle. So you cannot just copy someone's monk mode. You gotta come up with your own. What is the one thing that you want to enhance? The extra variables depend on what your life currently needs. And this is where you need to be brutally honest. Not what looks cool, not what would impress people, but what would actually move my life forward if I did it every single day for the next 180 days. And usually, guys, the answer is not sexy. It's boring. It might be sleeping earlier, it might be writing daily, it might be applying for new jobs, it might be building your offer, it might be editing videos, it might be walking every morning, it might be studying one skill until you stop being average. I know, the boring answer usually is the right answer. And how long you should commit to this protocol? For me personally, I think at least it's 90 days. At least. You gotta really think about it if you can commit on 90 days. And I think the maximum is 180 days. Because after 180 days, your brain starts negotiating with you. Like, why would you want to do this monk mode for the next year, right? But 90 to 180 days, I think is a sweet spot. For some people that cannot acquire this monk mode, usually not because of the habit they're trying to acquire. Usually it's because of other people. There's a social cost if you want to commit on this monk mode. They will ask you why you are not going out, why you are not drinking, why you are sleeping earlier, why you are not replying as fast, why you are suddenly serious, why you are different now. That's where the 99% fall. Not because of they lack discipline, but because they don't want to be misunderstood. But guys, every transformation comes with temporary misunderstanding. That's the game. The people who respect your growth will understand. The people who understand are not necessarily bad people, but they might not be the right people to build your future around. Because your environment matters. Your ecosystem shapes you. If every time you try to grow, your circle pulls you back into your old identity, it will be very hard to become someone new. Monk mode teaches you that not everyone needs access to every season of your life. So I figure you understand what this protocol is, right? So basically, this is your current life. This is your ideal life. There's a bridge, right? There's a gap. And monk mode build that bridge. Before monk mode, you may see yourself as someone who is easily distracted, someone who always starts but never finishes, someone who needs pressure before taking action. But after a real focus season, 190 days, 180 days, you collect evidence that you are different. You show up when you didn't feel like it. You kept promises when no one was watching. You chose your future over temporary comfort. You finished the commitment. And that evidence matters. Because confidence is not built by some random abstract motivation affirmation. Confidence is built from proof. When you have competence, you will get confidence. So if you want to start monk mode, don't make it complicated. Start for the next 90 days. Choose your 3 non-negotiables. Move your body for 30 minutes every day. Remove your cheap dopamine. Spend 10 minutes in a silence. Then choose 1% of variable that matches your current season, your current ambition. If your season is health, choose food or training. If your season is money, choose deep work. If your season is content, choose daily creation. If your season is learning, choose deliberate practice. And then track it simply. My suggestion, literally write it on a piece of a paper or a whiteboard, your to-do list every single day. Because when you're done with it and then you put a check mark, that kind of silly thing triggers your brain. You have a new identity that you complete, that you are a finisher. Remember, do not overcomplicate this. It doesn't have to be pretty, the to-do list. The goal is not to be very neat or organized. The goal is to be consistent. Remember, your life will not change just because you want it badly. It changes when your environment, your habits, your ecosystem starts matching with the future self, starts matching with the future you keep talking about. And sometimes to create that future, you need to become unavailable for the version of you that keep wasting time. Not forever, but just long enough to remember who you are when you are focused. So for me personally, I think monk mode is very, very helpful. Remember, this is not about disappearing from the world. It's about disappearing from the habits that keeps you average. And when you come back, because your habits already evolved, your old environment will not recognize you. And that's not the point. The real point is, for the longest time, in your life, you start trusting yourself again. Stay classy.